Yeah, so marriage is interesting. A lot of people still talk about it. It's like the holy grail for women. Like, it's their Super Bowl. It's a great achievement, and if they don't do it, then they feel, some of them, I'm assuming, feel like they failed at something. But it's not a viable concept anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, marriage, from how I look at it in history, women's rights movements, culturally, I mean, it was always a business arrangement, kind of. It was always to have you be better at life, like society-wise. Like, I'll marry this person who got good business about themselves, good work ethic. We're going to build something together, and it's going to be sustainable for our children. So now marriage is, I love you. It's like, I don't think people know what love is. They know what extreme like is, or lust or attraction. So if you're basing a marriage off of that, it's doomed to fail.
I mean, marriage, it seems like marriage could be used as a way to survive as well, like piecing together incomes and, you know, improving your life on a material level. So I see the value in that. Like, you know, you got survival is important, and 2 incomes are better than 1. But I don't know if marriage is a happy place. You know what I'm saying? I understand it as a survival unit, but is it actually happy nowadays?
I haven't seen it, so there you go.
Like nobody?
I got a couple of friends now who've been married, so there's a shining light right there. But if I look at my parents, grandparents, and aunts,
but you got whole churches with, you know, church members espousing the beauty of it, you know, count the church folk.
You got a bunch of Tyler Perry movies in which the person who married you beats you, and then some light skin dude saves you at the end. I guess you believe in God. So, I mean, whatever. I don't subscribe to that, and I don't think that we're not looking at the inner workings of marriage. I mean, the outside facade is, you know, it can look good as you want it to look.
So just stay single forever is the working solution? No,
I don't think that's the working solution. I think companionship is what you're talking about. Not wanting to be lonely in old age, but I mean, that's good with friends, you know, lovers. Like, I don't understand how it's just tie your income to mine. I mean, cause that's how people get killed. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Killed?
Yeah, because you mess with people's money. You never watched a Lifetime movie? You weren't subjected.
No,
to
there
that.
is a. I saw a tweet not too long ago where she was documenting how many black men in particular are murdering their wives and girlfriends and partners. I had a thought, and I didn't write to the tweet, but I just thought to myself, like, I wonder if it has to do something with that person's idea of what it is to be involved with him. Like, did his concept of togetherness mean that I own you to the point of murder if I'm not satisfied with your actions? You know what I'm saying? Like, how much of that is caught up in these definitions or these lack of definitions?
Marriage says to death to us part. So I mean, that's a
Christian marriage. I mean, there's definitely different cultures have different.
Yeah, but we're in this American country, they call it, whatever, and basically this is based off of Christianity for the most part, even though it's tolerant of all religions. You know, it's kind of like the working social definition that we're working with. So, I mean, marriage comes with a lot of ego in it too. Like, I think
marriage. What you mean by ego?
Because all right, so I've asked a few women, and they go like, "Oh, I just want somebody to want me to the point where it's me." You know, it's like the number one status thing, and for a person to say, okay, I'm gonna forgo all other people and I'm just gonna be focusing on you, that's a lot on it. Like, that's a lot.
But again, that's one style of marriage. Right? So I mean, let's be clear. So you're talking about a monogamous marriage with Christian ethic.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about right now. I just think there's a lot of spin on that ball. I just think that
wanting somebody to want you is a lot of spin.
No, I think that thinking that person won't be attracted to another person or have interest with other people.
They can be attracted, but don't touch.
Don't touch. Sure, but no, I've heard people like don't look, don't talk to them. Don't. It feels real. It's not based off of love. It's based off of possession, mine.
A marriage.
That's relationships in general. It feels like.
Wow.
But marriage is the ultimate form of that. Like, if you think about when you first meet somebody, and it's just like, oh, okay, like, she cute, she funny, oh, she laughs at my joke, oh, and she kind of caring, oh, she can cook good, whatever the case may be, and you start genuinely building up that friendship, that whatever your relationship is, throwing some sex with that, and it's bomb cool. Once you put a title on it, you start feeling a pinch, like, well, you supposed to come to me to this event.
And this is every time.
It happens a lot. It's a majority of times. I'm not gonna be absolute with it, but yeah, I mean, with each title gives you more expectations, more on it. Well, I'm your fiance now, so I got access this, and this is how you need to act. Oh, you're my wife, you're my husband. This is what is expected. Like, no, those things still need to be hammered out at the beginning. But I think everybody's going into these things with their own ideal of what marriage is. You got two people with the two different ideals of marriage. It's bound to just crash and burn.
Yeah, I feel that what you're describing is a dysfunction, but
yes.
So marriage is just dysfunctional, but not. So it's like, well,
I mean, if you're looking at it as this is a compatible person who has my best interest at heart, we have the same values, and let's not even go with morals, let's go with values, the same money values, the same work ethic, those type of values, and let's build something together, then, I mean, I'm sure it can work. It can be really functional. But will it have the same amount of passion that you want, or fun, or whatever you call it?
I think there's arguments against marriage being just fun, that it's actually going back to what I said earlier about survival, in the sense of not just as individuals, but also the stability to raise children. A lot of people want to get married for the sake of children, to build a family within you don't believe in children?
Yeah, children trash.
Yeah, so anyway. If you catalog marriage in such in such narrow terms, then it seems like it would produce the dysfunction that you speak of.
Well, let me put it like that. Let me tell you what I hear in marriage. I hear people say, I want a traditional. I like traditional stuff. Traditional was you as the woman stays at home, and you as the man go out and be a breadwinner, make enough money to support a wife, 2 children, and a dog, and have 2 cars in the driveway. Our economy, our lifestyles, that's not what it is no more.
If it ever was that.
If it was ever that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's like a glamorized 1950s type Leave It to Beaver stuff. So it's not viable. As a guy, I'm sorry, like, I don't have no money right now, but I don't want you to take nothing from me. Like, what if it don't work out? Like, I'm sorry. Most relationships don't make it past a year, 2 years. Like, so now you talk about a supposedly lifetime commitment, and if you want to bow out, or I want to bow out, you can have access to, like, my money or something, my pension, my retirement. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely a distinction, an economic distinction. If you put 2 $40,000 incomes together,
80,000.
So that's, again, we're moving from survival mode into something
that's practical, though.
Yeah, and then you got the gold digger arrangements that you speak of, or sound like you were speaking of.
1950 traditional.
Where it just becomes like a bad business decision.
Yeah, and that's what they mostly turn into on either side. That's why I said that if you're basing it off of shared values, shared work ethic, then you are more likely the marriage is more likely to be good. But I don't know how happy that is. Like, I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, marriage is a lot of work." Why would I want to be at home with a lot of work? I already go to work, and that's trash.
Because you don't want to be lonely, because you want to raise your children in the best possible environment, because you want to have investment money, because you want to have miscellaneous money. You want
join an investment group. Downsize your lifestyle. Don't get a 3-bedroom house when you're single. Just go ahead and get a 1-bedroom or a flat. And what are you talking about?
Yeah, I think that that marriage fails at a high rate. Aside from what is popularly talked about, is because I think the reason for getting married is has been misdirected. It seems like another prom, like another event, not the marriage but the wedding. Like, okay, I handled my career business, or I handled my school that led to my career, that put me in position to now have another accomplishment. It's like a second prom. So if you're interested in a marriage simply for aesthetics, that I'm not single, look at me, I have a ring, you know what I'm saying, or I have a second mother. Some guys actually kind of describe their mothers when they speak about the perfect woman, somebody that can cook, clean, and
just add some fucking into it and say everything's good. Let's get it.
Yeah, so to me, those things, aside from marriage itself being historically suspect in regards to a sexist institution, it seems like something that's doomed to fail based off of just the intentions behind it. Now, if you generally are interested in not growing old by yourself and you want to build a survival unit, I don't know if that produces passion. You understand what I'm saying? So, survival indeed. I mean, I know married couples that definitely have maintained mortgage and thrived in businesses and did well with sending children to graduate school even. So survival, yes, but is it the ultimate destination for adult people at this point? Is
that's highly questionable. Honestly, what you're describing sounds trash. It sounds like a roommate.
Survival sounds like trash. Okay.
I mean, no. I mean, if you can survive without the other person, then great. And then if I need you to survive for this moment, it's not forever. We can both get on each other's feet, and then we can make moves, and then we can just separate because there's no passion there. You was a good business partner.
Okay, but then again, there's other variations. You have open marriages.
I mean, that's cool. I mean, if that works for you.
Then you have other religious dictums and principles.
I think religions is what's destroying marriage in the first place, but that might be a radical thought.
Oh, okay. So marriage works for who? Or is it just played out, period?
I think it's played out, but I'm in the minority there. People still getting married.
And it's not because somebody said no to you in the previous
in the previous life.
No, in the previous request.
I've been proposed to, and I've said no because it wasn't viable. It just wasn't. Why? You can't. You gotta sell me on this. Well, what's the benefits? And you're telling me children. That's not a benefit for me. I don't want them, and they're just a drain. They're ungrateful, and you're like stuck with them for a quarter of a century, and then they might not turn out right with all your good schooling, with all your efforts you put into it. They might still be ungrateful little curs, or they could be great ones and blessed and make it to the NBA or become doctors or presidents. But the point of the matter, that's a 25-year investment. I'd be better served putting all that money and effort into stocks and making business arrangements.
And growing old alone doesn't scare you.
This is the thing. Like, everybody has a growing old alone. What's up? Like, you ain't got no real friends? I'm sorry.
Your wife is supposed to be your best friend.
I hear that sometimes. I also hear that as the main person who put the sweatpants on before you get home from work and shut you down. So, I mean, I'm just saying, if I'm going to be spending 30 years with somebody, it's going to have to be based off of some shared passion, some shared stuff, something that, like, when I come home, if I'm 60, I still want to be slapping you on your ass and you giggling, I'm sorry.
And this has nothing to do with, like, a bitter divorce you went through, or
no divorce.
Okay. Geeks and Goons.